One of the most profound and impactful character arcs in Andor was the shocking and tragic scene involving Major Lio Partagaz, a high-ranking Imperial officer within the Imperial Security Bureau committing suicide. As Partagaz awaits his fate knowing his arrest is nearing, he is listening to the late young rebel Karis Nemek's manifesto. His words are full of hope and clarity, even after death, inspiring fuel for the rebellion. Nemek's vision highlights what the Empire lacks: belief, purpose, and a future beyond fear. Could things have turned out differently for Partagaz and the Empire if the system had allowed for flexibility, humanity, or even doubt? This moment in the scene raised significant questions about the pressures and complexities faced by Imperial officers tasked with maintaining absolute control. What internal conflicts drove Major Partagaz to this extreme act? Did he see no alternative path within the rigid and unforgiving structures of the Imperial Command? And importantly, what does this message of his suicide send about the Empire's internal fragility? Major Lio Partagaz was intricately involved in suppressing threats against the Empire, particularly escalating rebel insurgency. His decision to end his life underscores the immense psychological burden carried by ISB officials, who face relentless demands for perfection, ruthless efficiency, and unwavering loyalty. The constant scrutiny, coupled by the severe consequences of failure imposed by the Empire, likely created a profound sense of isolation and despair for Partagaz. This overwhelming pressure, intensified by his perception of being personally responsible for the significant strategic setbacks, might have driven him to view suicide was the only visible means of preserving what remained of his honour and escaping the inevitable disgrace awaiting him. Could his fate have been different had the Empire provided more psychological support or flexibility within its command structure? Partagaz's inability to effectively address the growing rebellion stemmed from critical strategic misjudgments. Foremost among these was his underestimation of the rebellion's depth and organisation, mistakenly treating it as isolated disturbances rather than recognising it as a cohesive, ideologically motivated insurgency. His reliance on heavy-handed imperial tactics, such as brute force and intimidation, proved inadequate against the resilient and adaptive rebellion. Could a more nuanced approach have prevented Partagaz's operational failures? The Major's rigid adherence to outdated imperial doctrines and his failure to adapt swiftly to evolving tactics of rebel groups significantly compromised his operational effectiveness. Unlike specialised ISB tactical troopers who showcased greater flexibility and adaptability, Partagaz was trapped in rigid methodologies, leading to repeated strategic oversights. Ultimately, Major Lio Partagaz's tragic decision symbolises the broader systematic failures and harsh realities within the Empire's internal security mechanisms. His suicide not only highlights his personal despair, but also vividly illustrates the inherent weaknesses in the Empire's approach to suppressing dissent, reinforcing the stark and unyielding narrative of Star Wars Andor. Was Partagaz doomed by the system he served? Let me know in the comments. As always, thanks for watching.